Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that, and also apologies if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well. If there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it can't be helped, and hopefully it's not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2024 related video here on my channel, and right now it is time, dear viewers, to take you through my early rough predictions for the semi-finals results of the upcoming edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, which will take place in May for a third time in Malmö, Sweden. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discussed today by leaving a comment down below. Feel free to leave your own early predictions in the comments if you so wish. And as always, there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So, I have my other corkboard here, and I have my slips of paper ready to go. This is, as I just said, a rough early prediction. It is not a final prediction one bit. Loads of people have been making predictions over the past few weeks. They've been putting their predictions up on Twitter and YouTube, and I've been seeing those, and it's always interesting to see how they pan out. I could have spent a bit of time recently loading up a spreadsheet, putting in the points one by one, but I might do that closer to when the actual contest takes place. For now, this is really going through the songs, now that we have the running orders too, going through the songs in each semi-final one by one, appreciating them for what they are, and really trying to not think like a Eurovision fan, but thinking like a neutral viewer who has never heard these songs before, because let's not forget, 99% of viewers in May for all three shows won't really know much about these songs at all. They'll have no idea how the songs came to be, no idea about national finals, internal selections, no idea about pre-party performances or anything like that. So when I was judging these songs again, I really wasn't trying to look at them as a Eurovision fan. I was looking at them as if I was a complete neutral and really seeing which ones grabbed my attention the most, I suppose. Let's not forget that there is no jury vote in the semi-finals. Semi-final 1 is on Tuesday, the 7th of May. 15 countries are involved. They'll all vote alongside the rest of the world. How crucial could that vote be? And Germany, Sweden and the UK. Semi-final 2 is on Thursday, the 9th of May. 16 countries are involved, plus France, Italy and Spain performing and voting, and the rest of the world too. So, let's go through this then one by one. It goes without saying, do not take this too seriously, it's just a bit of fun. Anybody who makes predictions like this, none of them should be taken that seriously. And this will probably change, maybe only a little bit, or indeed significantly, before the contest is upon us in 2 months' time. So, let's do this. Winning semi-final 1, perhaps not by a comfortable margin, is Song 7. It'll be back to front, but there we are. Croatia, Baby Lasagna, Rim Tim Tagidim, to win the first semi-final. Why? Because it is the favourite to win the whole contest. There is this slight Karia effect with this song. However, Cha 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 was far more popular, I would say, at this time last year than Rim Tim Tagidim currently is now. And I think when the contest is upon us, yes, the Croatian track will be getting a lot of buzz, but I don't think it will be anything like the amount of buzz that Finland's entry was getting for the Liverpool contest last year. However, it's still popular. The live performance is going to be quite something. Elevated from Dora, hopefully. The vocals might be a bit stronger too, fingers crossed. And with all of that stuff in mind, I think it is probably going to win this semi-final. If not win, then definitely top 3. Second in the first semi-final, and this will come as no surprise to you, I'm sure, it is Song 5, Ukraine, Teresa and Maria, Aliona Aliona and Jerry Hale. This is, in my opinion, obviously going through without breaking a sweat, and obviously finishing in the top 3. I would be gobsmacked if that didn't happen. Maybe the momentum has moved away from Ukraine ever so slightly in recent weeks, but it's so clearly, in my opinion, a strong contender for the win. The juries in the final, I think, will like it. I'm trying not to think about the final too much here, obviously, but I think the juries in the final will appreciate it. I think the public will appreciate it too. You are looking at maybe a minimum of 200 points in the final and a top 6 finish. In the first semi-final, absolutely the top 3 awaits for this female duo. It's a good song, Do I think it will win the contest? Probably not, but I would not be surprised if indeed it is a 4th Ukrainian win in Malmö this May. Moving on, finishing 3rd in semi-final 1 is Song 3, Luktelk by Sylvester Belt. This is going to benefit from a slight diaspora vote. The UK, points for Lithuania. Ireland, points for Lithuania. But points from all corners of Europe will pour in for this song. It's very popular. It's got that throbbing, driving beat. I'm not sure it's the most engaging performance or indeed most engaging song, but it is a song that I can absolutely enjoy for what it is. And really, I think this top 3 is pretty damn locked on. Let me know your thoughts on that. Croatia, Ukraine, Lithuania, whatever order you've got them in. I would say most people are expecting those 3 nations to finish in the top 3 of semi-final 1, because then the question is, who on earth is finishing 4th? I mean, is it going to be Iceland? Yeah, I don't think so. Is it going to be Slovenia? Is it going to be, I'm shuffling these in a random order, is it going to be Portugal? Who knows? I have gone with Serbia. Ramonda by Teodora. This is song 2 on the night. Might be a bit risky predicting this to go through in 4th, but I was going through the songs and I thought, well, is it really that crazy of me to say that I think Serbia could finish in the top 5 of this first semi-final? No, I don't think it's that crazy. It's a very good song. It's a ballad. It stands out in that first half. I imagine the vocals will be fantastic. The performance could be very atmospheric and dramatic and wonderful to watch. I think there will be plenty of points coming in for this. Not necessarily 12 points, 10 points, 8 points. Maybe a 7, maybe a 6, a couple of 5s. They all add up. And to qualify, you probably only need about 40 points anyway. I think Serbia will manage that despite being on 2nd. Maybe I have been a tad generous in predicting this to go through with relative ease, especially considering that Teodora is on 2nd. But as I've said before, if the song is good enough, it will qualify from any position, and so I've predicted Serbia to finish 4th. But just behind Serbia in 4th place, I've actually gone with Poland. The Tower by Luna. This is song 6 on the night. Now, why have I predicted Poland to go through in 5th place from semi-final 1? Because last year, okay, admittedly, a very different song, but Poland went through very comfortably from semi-final 2 in Liverpool with a song that a lot of people mocked for its supposed poor quality. Well, that didn't mean a jot in the end, because Blanca said, thanks very much, and qualified for the final with no trouble whatsoever. And then she did well in the final with the public. Poland does have that diaspora thing going on. The UK and Ireland, here you go, have a couple of points. But I think you've got to be looking at several other countries dishing out, again, 7 points here, 6 points there, 5 points there. So I am expecting Poland to go through. I really am. 5th place, maybe a tad generous once more, but I can't really see Poland missing out at this stage. But ask me again in a few weeks. Things might change. Going through in 6th place is Australia. Electric Fields, 1 mil Cali, 1 blood. And as somebody rightly pointed out on one of my recent videos, don't really rule out Australia at all, because they have fared all right in a few semi-finals in the past. Kate Miller-Heidke, she won her semi-final in 2019, did she not? And Voyager won semi-final 2 in Liverpool last year. This Australian track is flying under the radar. I think it will come alive live. We know Electric Fields can deliver the goods. There's good energy, there's vibrancy, there's a really sort of feel-good thing going on with this particular track. And at first, I really wasn't sure about Australia going through. And I'm still not sure, but here I am having predicted Australia, 1 mil Cali, 1 blood, to qualify in 6th place. In the final, though, if Australia get there, I am expecting a bit of a different story. But we'll see. We'll see. If anything, that song will grow on people. I can't imagine it's going to go down in people's estimations too much moving forwards. It's the sort of song that I think is going to rise up for a lot of individuals. Moving on, because I'm starting to ramble, 7th place. Yes, I think this is going through. Finland, Windows 95 man, No Rules, song 10 on the night. This is just the sort of thing that neutral viewers are probably going to lap up. Vocally, shoddy. The performance, shoddy. The whole thing, a big, fat, crushing disappointment. I mean, this is just such a downgrade. I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I'm sure I'll be saying it again moving forwards. But it is quite fun. It's fairly humorous. It's not to be taken too seriously. It is very much bordering on full-on cringeworthy, if you ask me. But I think neutral viewers from all across Europe and indeed Australia and the rest of the world will watch this in the first semi-final in May and think, oh, look at that guy in his short shorts and Windows top, which I think he's going to have to change. Oh, this is quite funny. What on earth is going on here? This is classic, pure Eurovision. Let's vote for it. That's what might happen. And although I don't think it will be a very safe qualifier, I am expecting Finland to go through. The same can be said, really, for this next country. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8th qualifier is Cyprus. Celia Kapsis with Liar, song 1 on the night. Let's not forget she's Australian, so Australia will probably give her 8, 10, 12 points. That's only one country I know, but this is accessible pop. People like this sort of bland thing. I like this sort of bland thing. So shoot me. I enjoy this for what it is. I'm hoping the performance is going to be really strong. Being on first, people might forget about it. I don't know. But because it's fairly radio-friendly and accessible and fairly simple in terms of its execution, I think people will just enjoy it for what it is. They're not going to love it, but I think they'll enjoy it enough to see Cyprus go through. But again, ask me in a few weeks, it could be a different story. Let's not forget, in 2019, Tamta with Replay, that was expected to do very well, but she only just qualified in the first semi-final. And this song, slightly different, I know, but it's giving me the same sort of feeling. It might just sneak over the line. Okay, what are we up to now? We've got 2 countries left, have we not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's leave these next 2 and go from the bottom up. Finishing last, 15th in semi-final 1. If you said Iceland, you'd be wrong. I've gone with Moldova. In the Middle by Natalia Barbu, song 11 on the night. I really don't know where the points are going to come from for this. There's no Romania either. So I think Moldova are in a spot of bother. Nobody is really loving this song. I think the staging is probably going to be quite similar at Eurovision to how it was in the national final. Vocally, okay, fine. That's not enough. There is no excitement or momentum or anything surrounding this track. And although we know Moldova can deliver the goods at Eurovision, the staging can be elevated tenfold. I'm just not expecting that this year. So I think Moldova are going to finish last. And if you finish last in a public-only semi-final, as we saw last year, you could end up with a big fat 0. Realistically, I think no more than 10 points for Moldova. I really do. I'd be gobsmacked if it was much more. Finishing in 14th place is Iceland. Scared of Heights, Herra Björk. I think this will definitely struggle. Song 8 on the night. Again, there's no real momentum for this. It is a crime at Eurovision, if you ask me. I've said this previously, I'll say it again. To have an up-tempo song that feels so dated and vanilla and bland, you could say that about Cyprus, I know, but with Iceland, you can tell that it's trying to hit the heights, no pun intended, but it's not coming close. It feels like such an uninspired, very, very average tune, I have to say. And this is coming from somebody who loves what Iceland usually bring to the table. With Cyprus this year, I just think there's a little bit more about it. And I think that's because of who's performing it. I think Celia Kapsis has a bit more gusto, whereas Herra Björk, it's all a bit, come on, let's get on the dance floor, come on up now. Do you know what I mean? It feels a little bit too forced almost. Anyway, Iceland aren't qualifying. If they do, I will eat this corkboard. I would be that surprised. Yeah. Who's going to vote for this? Finland? They might be the only ones. There's no Norway. There's no Denmark. Sweden can vote in this semi-final, so that might be 1 or 2 points max. You know, low numbers for Iceland. Finishing 13th. Let's try and get through this now. It is Azerbaijan. Ozun Leopard, Fari featuring Ilkin Dovlatov. Again, I don't know who's going to vote for this. There's no Turkey. And if Turkey were taking part, that would be possibly 12 points, going Song 12's way in the first semi-final. I like the fact it has lyrics in Azerbaijani. That's very nice. I think the vocals are quite nice. I'm liking the quite calm nature of the song as a whole. That has to be appreciated. But I don't think there's enough buzz. It's the same old story. I just don't see enough votes coming in for this song. But it's not a bad track. That leaves 4 countries, and if you've been paying attention, you'll know which 4 countries they are, in a random order: Portugal, Luxembourg, Ireland, and Slovenia. 2 of those go through, 2 of those don't. My God, it's mighty tough to work out which 2 are going to go through to the Saturday final in this early rough prediction. Finishing 9th, and going through is Song 9, Veronica Raven for Slovenia. As I've said previously, I'm surprised more people don't love this, because I think it's a really fine song with a message. Again, as I think I said about Serbia, atmospheric, dark, moody, intriguing, powerful, etc., etc. type staging. This could really be a real moment. Absolutely. But I'm looking at the other songs and I'm thinking, yeah, Slovenia, if they go through, it's not by much. Qualifying in 9th place. I think it deserves to be in the final, I really do. It's a very good song, really, but yeah, it's not going to cruise through. 3 countries left. My word, in a random order: Ireland, Portugal, and Luxembourg. Only one of those 3 can make the cut. Maybe you're thinking right now, well, all 3 of them are going through. Well, if you predict all 3 of those to go through, I don't blame you, because you can all make a claim for these 3 tracks going through to the final. But then who misses out? It's so tough. I've messed this up. I need to move these bits of paper down ever so slightly. Missing out in 11th place, I have gone with Ireland, Doomsday Blue, Bambi Thug. Why have I put Ireland down as a non-qualifier? Because this is Ireland. What a terrible reason, I know. But Ireland have struggled in the past. I look at 2022 as a great example of this. The amount of attention that Brooke was getting with That's Rich, and then she didn't go through. And this is getting a reasonable amount of attention, and I think it really could be very good live. I think as we edge closer towards the contest in May, more and more people might really be getting on board with this, including myself. But is it going to be enough? I don't know. I don't know. There's a part of me, every time I hear part of this song, there's a part of me thinking, oh yeah, so many people are going to appreciate this for what it is. That alternative audience, I suppose, if you want to call them that, they'll be tuning in and loving this. They'll vote in big numbers. This is going through relatively easily. But then I look at the song another day and think, nah, no chance. Neutral viewers are probably going to find this very off-putting, very jarring, very irritating, very noisy. And as such, NQ for Ireland, again, at this stage. 11th place. 12th place, rather. My apologies. That leaves 2 countries from semi-final 1, Luxembourg or Portugal. Luxembourg's revamp has now been released. I've heard part of it. I'm not terribly impressed. Also, the Luxembourg entry, not quite to the extent of Iceland's track, but I find it strangely flat and not hitting the heights that it really should. Portugal, beautiful, delicate, simple, effective, and honestly, in my opinion, a much better song. As such, Portugal go through in 10th place. Iolanda with Grito. I'd be so disappointed if this didn't go through. What a beautiful song. I just hope people appreciate it. If the jury vote was here, maybe Portugal, I'd be sitting here now saying to you, yes, going through maybe in 6th or 5th place, something like that. Maro did well. The Black Mamba did well in the semi-finals. Portugal, I'm hoping that Yolanda finishes higher than 9th. 10th rather, my apologies. But realistically, I think this is only just going to go through at this stage. When I made a rough prediction a few days ago, Portugal was actually an NQ. I have doubts, but I'm really hoping she makes the cut, which means 8, 9, 10, 11. Finishing in 11th place is Luxembourg, fighter by tally. Yes, indeed. I just don't think this has enough about it to progress. And if Luxembourg go through, does that mean Portugal miss out? Oh, I wouldn't be happy about that. If Luxembourg go through, does that mean Slovenia's missing out? Oh, I wouldn't be too happy about that. Does that mean Cyprus miss out? Maybe Cyprus are on first. Surely Finland don't miss out. 100% public vote semi-final. Australia? It's tough. My God, is it tough. Let's have some tea. Oh dear. It really is tough this year. That rest of the world vote really could play a part. Semi-final 2 then. Who do you think is winning the stronger, arguably, of the 2 semi-finals this May? If you said Switzerland, you are wrong. If you said the Netherlands, give yourselves a pat on the back. Joost Klein, closing semi-final 2 with Europapa. Song 16 on the night, that Thursday evening. I've predicted him to win. So much attention going his way. It's going to be a lively, slightly wacky, hopefully thoroughly enjoyable 3-minute long performance. If he has that moment at the end, that sort of message to his parents, some sort of burning structure on stage perhaps, that is going to be a real moment, I think. And in the final, because he will be there, let's be honest, in the final when the juries see this, that could work in his favour too. I don't think he's winning Eurovision 2024. He might come close if the juries are on board with it. But in a 100% public vote semi-final, he might be hard to stop. And he will get more points. Admittedly, there's one more country in semi-final too. But he will get more points than Baby Lasagna will in semi-final 1, if you ask me. And if you had to ask me right now, in the final, who's finishing higher, certainly with the public, I think it is Europapa. Anyway, finishing second in semi-final 2, I've gone with Switzerland, The Code by Nemo. Great song, melding all of these different styles into one. I think he does it, I think they, apologies, do it quite successfully. Definitely a contender for the win. I'm liking it more every time I hear it. It is a very serious contender for the win. So this is going through, and I think if the staging is bang on the money, people could be bowled over by this. Neutral viewers could really be on board with this particular track. Finishing third, Song 15, On the Night, Ulvehan by Gutter for Norway. I keep saying it. I am so convinced this is a major contender to win the whole thing. The betting odds might say otherwise at the moment. Some Eurovision fans might be thinking, nah, Norway aren't going to do it. I think this is a serious contender. That performance at MGP, I did get winner vibes. I hate that phrase, but I did get winner vibes from the MGP performance of this track. The flashing lights, the images of water and forestry and things like that, the vocals. Oh my word, it was really, really captivating, you know? And this might be a bit of a strange comparison, but Secret Garden, when they won in the mid-90s, very, very different, that type of song. But that was very captivating and haunting and beautiful and eerie and otherworldly. So is this. Different, but so is this. As such, Norway going through in third place. It's my second favourite of the year as I speak to you now. Going through in fourth place, I have gone with Song 6 in semi-final 2, Kalin We Will Rave for Austria. This is just pure pop. Kalin, I think there's going to be plenty of choreography here. I think it's going to be very slick, very engaging. It's a bit of a throwback style song. Neutral viewers will probably lap it up. As such, fourth place. Fifth place, definitely going through, Song 3, Marina Sati and Zari for Greece. I do like a lot about this song, but as I keep saying, I'm not totally on board with it just yet. Apparently it's all going to be one camera angle, which I find so strange, because this song, it's a bit of a bop. There needs to be movement. I'm sure there will be from Marina and her dancers, which I'm sure she's going to have. But the camera's just not going to move, really? Or pan around them a couple of times? I don't know. I don't know. It could be a stroke of genius, or it could be a complete disaster. But one thing is for sure, Greece are going through with some ease. Finishing 6th, this might be a bit low, but that just tells you the strength of this semi-final. It's Belgium. Song 12 on the night, Before the Party's Over by Musty. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I use these terms again. Atmospheric, dark, gloomy, and then we have that real wonderful moment at the end. This release. This sort of huge exhale almost. Absolutely tremendous. I'm excited for the staging. I think the vocals will be great. I'm really hoping people get on board with this. Fantastic. There's this thing going around on Twitter at the moment, which you may well have seen. Not that I'm using Twitter very much at all at the moment, but it's a picture of a horse, and one side of it is very crudely drawn, and the other half is written, or drawn rather, by some sort of professional artist. And it's essentially saying that the second half of Belgium's song is much better than the first half. I don't know, I think the whole song is pretty darn good. But yes, that explosion of sorts at the end, that's the real selling point of this Belgian track. In the final, the juries, they should go big for it. Going through in 7th place is Estonia, Vis Minus and Pulup with Nendes Narkutikumides de Teamakul Midagi. I think the staging is going to be very similar to how it was at Estilao. That's fine. The outfits might change, but that's a pretty minor thing. This is fun. It's catchy. It's enjoyable. You know, have a bit of a dance. I don't really see this missing out. 100% public vote semi-final, I don't really see Estonia missing out. Although some people are now unsure about their chances. If you ask me, Estonia are going through. Going through in 8th place is another very likeable, jaunty, fun time. I would be surprised if neutral viewers certainly didn't think this was pretty decent. It's Song 8, Armenia, Yako by Ladaniva. A lot of fun. Can't really complain. I think there will be points coming in for this from many different countries. Again, like I said in semi-final 1 with the likes of, who did I say it about? Serbia, Poland, a couple of others. Maybe not 12 points here, 10 points there, but 5 points here, 6 points there, 7 points there. They all add up, and you probably only need about 40 to qualify. So really, you could qualify if 3 countries gave you 12 points, and nobody else. That might still be enough to go through in a 100% public vote semi-final. Anyway, Armenia, getting back on track, good song, deserves to go through. Let's leave those two and go from bottom to top. Finishing last in semi-final 2, well, who the hell knows? There's a question for you. Who do you think is finishing last in semi-final 2? Because nobody really deserves to, do they? My word, is there a song that's really that bad enough to finish last? I don't know. I've gone with San Marino. Just feels like a safe bet. Megara 11-11. Italy may give this points. Spain may give this points. They might be the only countries giving this anything. That won't be enough. And if they are indeed the only countries giving 11-11 any points at all, then I think San Marino could well finish with 11 points. Last place. I'd hate to see it, because I like Megara very much, and I think the song is pretty decent, but I just don't see enough support for it. It might be an Achille Lauro situation. He didn't finish last, but he didn't really come too close to qualifying either. So, it is what it is. Bear with me now, we're on the home straight. 15th place. I've gone with Czechia. Yeah, this isn't bad, and I think the general consensus amongst most Eurovision fans is that the revamp, the song as a whole, Aiko, Pedestal, the track, etc., all rather fine. But on the night, oh, Europapa, lovely, vote, vote, vote. The Code, vote, vote, vote. Ulverham, We Will Rave, Zari, Before the Party's Over, Estonia's Song, Yako, not much for dear old Czechia. As such, 15th place. Do you see what I mean? I just think so many other countries are going to suck up all of the points, and a country like Czechia isn't going to end up with very much. 15th place. But again, ask me in a few weeks, it could be a different story. 14th place. It's Albania, Titan by Bessa. It's on second. Albania do have a habit of sneaking through, but the strength of this second semi-final, who misses out? I just don't know. I just don't know. If Albania go through, I've no idea who misses out as a result. It's an alright song. I think the power has been sucked out of the original, and this revamp feels a lot more safe in a way. It's in English too. Don't really know what to expect from the staging. Lacking support. NQ. NQ. Then we have 13th place. Song 1. Malta, Serebonici Loop. We know Malta usually really struggle with the public. This is a bit of a bop. Yes, it's on first. Taking all of this into consideration, I do think Malta aren't qualifying again, but I'm not expecting this to be disgraced. So, there we go. And there's going to be a dance break. People do love a dance break. It worked for Blanca last year. So, yeah. As much as I don't mind Loop, I think it's probably missing out, unfortunately. But if it goes through, great. I mean, that would be a brilliant result. Being on first and being Malta's entry, fantastic. That leaves 4 countries. In a random order, they are Latvia, Denmark, Israel and Georgia. 2 go through, 2 don't. Going through in 9th place, Georgia, Firefighter by Nutsa Buzaladze, song 11 on the night. This could be the year for Georgia to get back into the Saturday Showdown. I don't remember much about the song at all, as I've said many times now. I've heard it a few times. I just don't really remember it, and that's the problem. Neutral viewers might not remember this. If we take a look at the running order, San Marino will arguably stand out more. Belgium is a better song. Haven't you got one of the automatic qualifiers as well? 5, 9, 13. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I just don't know if Georgia's entry will stand out enough. It's not a bad track. The singer is not bad. We know there's going to be choreography. That could help this song's chances. If Georgia make the final, I'm not sure they're going to do too well, but making the final is just a step in the right direction, which is what this country needs. Finishing in 11th place. I don't feel confident about this one. It's Latvia. There is no denying that this man can sing. There is no denying that it is a perfectly decent track. But again, is there memorability? Maybe not too much. The staging that we've had for this song so far hasn't been brilliant. I don't know what they can do to make it stand out more, really. I really don't. He can't just stand there for 3 minutes. There's got to be some sort of movement somehow. Not necessarily from him, but from backing singers or something. A couple of dancers? I don't really know. How can you stage this in a way that's going to get people on board? I just don't know. He can sing, but that, unfortunately, is not enough. It's not a singing contest, it's a song contest. It's the whole damn package. And unfortunately for Latvia, once again, even though this is a very credible, quite serious effort from them, this is no salads in sight with this one. It might not be enough. It just might not be enough. What a shame. What a shame. But hopefully, if Latvia don't qualify this year, they can look at the result and say, you know what? We really gave it a good go. Let's really try and push on next year. And call Marcus Reva. Anyway, 2 countries left. Oh boy, it's Israel and Denmark. Yeah. Who do you think is going to go through out of those 2? Well, I've predicted to go through in 10th place Denmark. Saba with Sand. This would be a great result for Denmark because they haven't qualified for a few years. I think more people are getting on board with this now. It's not a bad song, very safe. This could benefit, though, from the jury votes in the final. Absolutely. Mid-table in the final awaits for Denmark, perhaps, if indeed Saba goes through. She sings well. The performance at DMGP was fine. Can't imagine it's going to be too different at Eurovision. Neutral viewers might enjoy it. It is what it is. Now, with Israel, of course, there's massive controversy about their participation. The reason I'm talking about this, by the way, is because it's almost impossible to predict that they're not taking, how do I phrase this? I think it would be a bit silly of me to pretend they're just not involved. They are there, they have got a slot in the running order, so that's why I'm mentioning this. And if I didn't, then my prediction would probably be all over the place. Somebody on Twitter said, you are, something along the lines of, you are a fool if you think Israel aren't qualifying this year. And I saw that and I thought, yeah, you're probably right. This song, Hurricane by Eden Golan, may well cruise through. But I'm looking at the other songs and I'm thinking, they're better songs. I can't imagine the public voting for this more than the Greek entry, more than the Belgian entry, more than the Austrian entry. I just don't see it. But I could be very wrong. Anyway, 11th place for Israel as of right now. Song 14 on the night, and you've got to take a look as well. Israel are coming after Estonia, that stands out more. Before Norway, Norway stands out more. And you've also got Italy right before Israel too. Italy's one of the big favourites. Israel are totally sandwiched in between those songs, and I have to say, it's not a very nice sandwich either. So, it's not a great position for Israel to be in. But there we go. What a ramble. Time to shut up. Let me hold this up as best I can. So, semi-final 1, the qualifiers are Croatia, Ukraine, Lithuania, Serbia, Poland, Australia, Finland, Cyprus, Slovenia, and Portugal. And in semi-final 2, qualifying the Netherlands, Switzerland, Norway, Austria, Greece, Belgium, Estonia, Armenia, Georgia, and Denmark, which means we say goodbye to Moldova, Iceland, Azerbaijan, Ireland, and Luxembourg, and San Marino, Czechia, Albania, Malta, Latvia, and Israel at the semi-final stage. This is a rough prediction. Expect changes as and when. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on anything I've discussed today by leaving a comment down below, and that really is all there is to it. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, hopefully there wasn't too much lag, and bye for now. Take care.